Lesson 6, Unit 1. Learning from results. Learning is the final step of the Rbpm cycle, but it's not the least important. Learning and adapting have a fundamental role in results-based management, as it helps to continuously improve the project intervention and increase the quality of the results. The inputs used in this step are the performance reports, evaluation reports, and feedback from stakeholders about the perception of how well the project is going. Outputs of this phase include the lessons learned by the project, continuous improvement of the project approach, and learning at the organizational level. Learning in Rbpm means that the project and all its actors learn from their actions and experiences during the project. This learning is not an academic exercise, but it has a critical role in identifying the changes to the plans, practices, approaches, and methodologies used in the project, and it has as its main goal the improvement of results. Continuous learning is one of the key principles of RBM. The learning phase is part of the cyclical approach of the project cycle. Learning allows for opportunities to adapt the project for the next phase, and in this fashion it continuously goes and improves the performance of the project. A development project is an intensive learning system. A project is like a journey, exploring uncharted territories, and in completing this journey, the project team, the organization, partners, and stakeholders are continuously learning. Incorporating an explicit phase dedicated for learning helps create spaces where the project can reflect on its actions and apply the lessons. Among the most important benefits for learning phase are the following: an increased understanding of the project context, which helps develop better plans. The project organization and partners take more responsibility for the results. Continuous improvements of the project performance by incorporating the lessons in every cycle. An improvement of the quality of results, and it also increases the confidence of all those involved in the project. For learning to be effective, the project and the organization need to consider some important principles that support the learning and continuous improvement process. These principles are: learning is a continuous effort during the life of the project. Learning is a participative experience done with partners and stakeholders. Learning also from others. Learning also needs to come from other sources. And finally, learning is shared in order to increase its value. Learning is a continuous process. This is not a one-time event. Learning needs to be embedded in every action the project does. It is a cyclical process where the project is constantly learning from its experience and adapting its approach based on what works and what does not work. For this to happen, it is important to create the time and the opportunities to stop and reflect on the actions, the data, and information collected by the project. The time for reflection can vary depending on the size and complexity of the project. The project manager can set up a specific time for a monthly meeting or a quarterly meeting to reflect and learn. There is not much value for the project to wait until the end of the project to capture lessons learned. Learning is not just a responsibility of the project team, but it requires the involvement of partners and key stakeholders in this process. Learning is a participative process where donors, partners, beneficiaries, and other key stakeholders are included in the learning cycle. It's a critical component of management for results that project stakeholders engage in meaningful conversations about learning and how they can benefit from this process. The project should seek opportunities to build the capacity of key stakeholders by sharing information, reports, and providing spaces to learn together. Participative learning also promotes active participation from stakeholders in the project. Learning not only comes from what the project is doing. Learning should also include other sources of information and experiences. The project team can learn from others when it analyzes information from multiple sources. The team can combine their learning with experience that partners, beneficiaries, and key stakeholders already have by closely listening to what they have to say. Other projects in the organization and even similar projects done by partner organizations provide with opportunities to learn. Their experiences are valuable sources of knowledge that the project team can seek to learn and help improve the performance of the project. By openly sharing what the project is learning, it can generate value to its stakeholders and increase the impact of the intervention. Just as learning also comes from others, new learning needs to be shared. Lessons learned are a currency that its value increases when it's shared. The project manager and the team should seek out opportunities to share what they are learning with the stakeholders so that these lessons can inform and guide the decisions they make. Sharing learning supports the project principles of transparency and accountability for results. Learning is a continuous process. It's not limited to the end of the project when normally a lessons learned workshop tries to capture all the lessons the project has learned. Learning needs to occur at all phases of the project, from planning, managing, and reporting. Each phase is an opportunity to reflect on the results and learn from the experience. In the planning phase, the project learns about the ability to convert ideas into plans. It learns about the value of incorporating the participation of the key stakeholders and their contributions to improve the implementation plans. During planning, the project learns how to organize its ideas, gather information, and incorporate flexibility in the plans to allow further modifications. In this phase, the learning is on the day-to-day activities that help manage the input-activity-output process. The project manager and the team learn of the actions and decisions made to solve problems, responding to risk events, dealing with changes in the project context, and validating assumptions. The project team learns on its own performance and applies it to improve the levels of efficiency. In this phase, the learning is on the results process, data from monitoring and evaluation that provide insights on what happened and what needs to be done. Reports provide evidence-based information the project can use to understand the areas where its performance needs improvement, learn from mistakes, as well as to learn on the success in achieving the expected performance targets. This information allows plans to be modified and adjusted to meet the changes in the environment.